Hey, 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 hey. Go, Isabel. It's your birthday. Get jiggy with it. Get busy with it. Who still says jiggy with it? Come on, bro. That's so 90s. What is going on, everybody? How are y'all doing? Before we get started with this video, give it a thumbs up. Let's get it over 300 likes, boy. All right. This article is coming courtesy of NintendoLife.com. Now, before I get into the article, I'm going to share my thoughts, and we got a couple of news items we're going to talk about in this video. For those of you that don't know, the Wall Street Journal, they are reporting that as we speak right now, as Isabella is getting jiggy with it right now, jiggy with it, Will Smith, that two new Nintendo Switch models are in development, pointing to either a holiday 2019 or by latest a spring 2020 release of two new Switch models, a cheaper model with scaled back specifications and a more beefier model with beefier specifications. And let's talk about the Switch Pro and what more than likely this chipset is going to be, and according to this article, it makes perfect sense. All right. The article is entitled, New Nvidia Shield TV could share the same chipset as the upgraded Switch. For those of you that don't know, the Nvidia Shield the current Nvidia Shield is running on a Tegra X1, which is the same chipset that the Nintendo Switch is running from. Nvidia has done the architecture, the chipset for the Switch. So there's a new Nvidia coming to the market. Let's read the article, and I'm going to share my thoughts. As we all know, the Nintendo Switch and Nvidia Shield share the same chipset. I just said that. You try to steal my words, Nintendo Life. The Tegra X1. Nvidia leveraged its knowledge of mobile chipset to help Nintendo create its help. Typo, bro. It says chipsets to help. It's supposed to be to help Nintendo create its hybrid console, and as a result hasn't refreshed its own Shield line in what feels like forever. So they're still running on the Tegra X1, but according to this article, that appears to be changing this year. Evidence has been discovered within the Google Play Developer Console's device catalog that strongly suggests that Nvidia is producing a new Shield TV console. The previous model's code name was Darcy, and a new entry has appeared with the code name M Darcy. Very creative. Developers working on the Tegra kernel have told XDA developers that they believe the refreshed CPU and GPU combo called T2 at this stage, but still believed to be part of the Tegra X1 family, will boast better power usage and a higher maximum GPU clock, the latter of which will provide a noticeable boost in performance. Two things! One, according to this article, the new Nvidia Shield is still going to be in the Tegra X1 family. So it's still going to be an X1 chip, but will have better power usage and a higher maximum GPU clock. That will provide a noticeable boost in performance. This is why I think this makes sense. One, games will still be compatible. If the new model Switch, as much as I wanted, I want it to be super powerful, bro. Incredibly powerful. But it will present a problem. There would be a split in game development. Developers will start making games that could only run on the Switch Pro because the regular Switch won't be able to handle. I know, one. They could just scale the games. Developers are lazy, bro. We've seen that time and time again. They're just gonna make one SKU for the Switch, and so I think that this would potentially split the player base, even though it is possible to still scale the games or whatnot. But a big reason why I think this makes sense is what Nintendo did again with the new 3DS XL. It was an upgrade. It was an upgrade in processing power, but it was very similar overall with what the current 3DS had to offer. And this makes sense. According to this article, the new Nvidia Shield is going to still be in the Tegra X1 family, but will have a higher maximum GPU clock, so games can run better. Makes sense. Games like Witcher coming onto the Switch, Doom Eternal, that'll still run on whatever Switch you have, but if you have a Switch Pro, it'll probably have higher resolution, smoother frame rates, and this falls in line. If it's the same chipset, the Tegra X1, it's going to make it easier for developers to just make one SKU, one game for the Switch. So I think that this makes sense if this rumor is true about the new Nvidia Shield, and if it's going to fall in line with what Nintendo is doing with the Switch. And it's cheaper for Nvidia too. They don't have to create multiple chipsets, a Tegra X2 for the Switch and a different chipset for their Nvidia Shield. Just one chipset that could run across all their platforms that they're coming out with. So it makes sense. We'll have to see. Where there's smoke, there's fire. I do think Nintendo sometime this year will be revealing new hardware. It makes sense. This is perfect timing for them to reveal it while the Switch is hot. Don't let the hype die out. Keep the train rolling. All right, couple more news items before we end this video. Animal Crossing New Leaf is officially the most talked about Nintendo Switch game at E3. There were 3 games. Number 1 was Animal Crossing New Leaf. Number 2 was Zelda Breath of the Wild 2. And number 3 was Super Smash Bros. With that banjo reveal. In that order. Also, speaking of Animal Crossing New Leaf, it's been confirmed by the game's director that New Horizon, that's the name of the game, Animal Crossing I kept saying New Leaf. New Horizons, Animal Crossing New Horizons will not be compatible with cloud backups in order to avoid manipulating time. I can see dudes doing that too. Oh, I want to go back in time, and then so you just use your cloud save to a previous cloud time. And so they're doing this to avoid time manipulation, which the game is heavily centered around time. Like when it's winter time, the game is snowing or whatnot. When it's springtime in real life, it's springtime in the game. And so to avoid that, it makes sense. I'm a little bummed that you won't be able to back up your data, but I understand why they're doing it. It makes sense. Even though they can still like save your money, your progress, the furniture you collected outside of time. Nintendo could figure it out. They're smart enough. All right, 2 more news items, then we shutting this down. Bruh, there's a rumor that Zant is returning to Zelda Breath of the Wild. I guess this is coming from the darker theme of the game and the fog that's covering everything. Perfect timing. That many are speculating that Zant is coming to the game. All right, this is an article from MyNintendoNews.com. They're saying that based on the trailer, Zant could possibly come into the game, which is said to include a new a few hidden notes that represents Zan's theme from the Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. All right, so they're saying based on the song that was being played. All right, this is a fan theory on the topic. You know, it doesn't. Zan, he does not. Another project that Hennessy is the hand that we see, and they're saying that their hand that was show is actually Zant's hand because they've come received and saw this. All right, so this is just a fan theory that Zant could possibly be returning. No one can question that. This trailer did have a more darker theme, a la Majora's Mask. Twilight Princess was overall a more darker Zelda game, so we'll see what kind of crossovers. Oh, I saw that the hand that was just touching Ganon. Maybe, because remember in Twilight Princess, Zant was the one who freed Ganon, so we'll see. All right, dudes, what do you guys think about everything we talked about in this video? Switch Pro Power Tegra X1, interesting. Sound off in the comment section below. I want to know. But before you go, bro, click that subscribe button. Stay up to date. All things Nintendo. We out, boy. I know you're tired.